Once, in an ancient African kingdom where the sun painted the land in shades of gold, there lived 3 princesses who were known throughout the land not for their wisdom, but for their foolishness. These daughters of the great King Amara weren't just ordinary princesses who made simple mistakes. No, their actions were so remarkably silly that tales of their misadventures spread from village to village, crossing rivers and mountains, becoming legends that people still talk about today. Princess Zora, the eldest, spent her days chasing clouds. She would climb the tallest baobab tree in the royal garden, reaching out with her hands trying to grab pieces of clouds. "If I catch enough cotton from the sky," she would say, "I can make the softest blanket for all the children in our kingdom." The court officials would shake their heads, wondering how someone could believe clouds were made of cotton. Princess Nia, the middle daughter, dedicated her time to teaching fish how to swim. Every morning, she would sit by the royal pond, giving swimming lessons to the fish. "Left fin, right fin, now splash." She would command, completely convinced that the fish were following her instructions. The palace guards tried not to laugh as they watched her demonstrate swimming strokes to fish that already knew how to swim perfectly well. Princess Amara, the youngest, was perhaps the most peculiar of all. She believed the moon was desperately in love with her. Each night, she would walk through the palace gardens, talking to the moon about her day. "See how it follows me wherever I go," she would tell anyone who would listen. "The moon is my most faithful admirer." The royal advisors worried about her sanity as she danced under the moonlight, convinced it was dancing with her. A kingdom's future at stake. The stakes for the kingdom grew more serious with each passing season. King Amara's advisors brought troubling news from neighboring lands. The mighty kingdom of Zulu in the south had sent word that they found the princess's behavior concerning. The prosperous traders from the western shores hesitated to form alliances with a kingdom whose future rulers seemed so disconnected from reality. The situation became even more critical when the sacred prophecy was revealed during the annual Festival of Wisdom. The kingdom's elderly mystic, Mama Besera, discovered ancient scrolls hidden within the royal library. These scrolls spoke of a time when the kingdom would face its greatest challenge, a test that would require not just ordinary wisdom, but a special kind of understanding that looked foolish to common eyes. Adding to the urgency, 3 powerful kingdoms had sent marriage proposals for the princesses. The kingdom of the Golden Lions, ruled by the warrior King Jabari, sought Princess Zora's hand. The Emerald Coast Kingdom, led by the wise King Kwame, expressed interest in Princess Nia. The Mountain Realm, governed by the wealthy King Ose, wished to court Princess Amara. These foreign rulers had heard tales of the princess's beauty but remained unaware of their peculiar behaviors. King Amara knew he faced an impossible choice: either reveal his daughter's foolishness and risk losing powerful allies, or hide their true nature and risk the future of these potential unions. The kingdom's future hung precariously in the balance, like a delicate leaf in the wind. The royal council gathered daily, trying to find solutions. Some suggested sending the princesses to the wise women of the distant mountains for training. Others recommended consulting the ancient spirits for guidance. But as they debated, the princesses continued their unusual behaviors, seemingly oblivious to the worry they caused. As the kingdom wrestled with its concerns, strange events began unfolding that made everyone question what true wisdom really meant. One scorching afternoon, while Princess Zora was cloud watching from her favorite baobab tree, she noticed unusual cloud formations gathering. These weren't the normal rain clouds, they were different, darker, and moved against the wind. Because of her countless hours studying clouds, she recognized signs of an approaching drought that even the kingdom's weather prophets had missed. Princess Nia's peculiar habit of talking to fish revealed its own unexpected value. During one of her daily swimming lessons at the royal pond, she noticed the fish behaving strangely. Their unusual movements, which she understood from spending so much time with them, warned of an earthquake 3 days before it struck. Her warning allowed the kingdom to prepare, saving countless lives and resources. Princess Amara's connection with the moon proved equally valuable. Her nightly conversations under the moonlight had taught her to read lunar patterns that influence tides, planting seasons, and even animal behavior. When hunters couldn't find game during a food shortage, she used her knowledge of moon phases to predict where animals would gather, helping feed the kingdom during difficult times. The royal advisors began seeing these foolish princesses in a new light. What appeared as silly behavior actually contained deep wisdom that others had overlooked. Princess Zora's cloud watching had given her an understanding of weather patterns that surpassed the royal meteorologist. Princess Nia's fish observations had made her an expert in animal behavior and natural disasters. Princess Amara's moon gazing had taught her celestial navigation and natural cycles. Their father, King Amara, watched as his daughter's supposed foolishness transformed into respected wisdom. Each princess had developed unique knowledge that proved invaluable to the kingdom. Their unconventional methods of learning and understanding the world around them showed that wisdom could come in many forms. The foreign kings who had sent marriage proposals soon heard about these events. Instead of being discouraged by the princesses' unusual behaviors, they became more intrigued. The princesses' special kinds of wisdom offered new ways of seeing and understanding the world, qualities that could strengthen any kingdom. Local people started coming to the princesses for advice. Farmers consulted Princess Zora about weather patterns. Fishermen sought Princess Nia's guidance about sea conditions. Travelers asked Princess Amara for navigation help using the moon and stars. What once brought mockery now brought respect and admiration. During the kingdom's annual harvest festival, a great challenge tested the three princesses and their unique gifts. A powerful drought threatened the land, more severe than any in living memory. The royal meteorologists and traditional wisdom keepers had no solutions. This crisis would reveal whether the princesses' unusual abilities were truly valuable or merely lucky coincidences. Princess Zora, still watching her beloved clouds, noticed subtle patterns in the sky that others missed. She saw how certain cloud formations moved against normal wind patterns, suggesting rain might be found in unexpected places. Using her knowledge, she guided the kingdom's farmers to plant in areas that seemed foolish at first, valleys that normally stayed dry but would soon receive rare rainfall. Princess Nia's connection with the fish proved crucial during this time. While others focused on the dry land above, she noticed the fish in the royal pond swimming in unusual patterns. Following their behavior, she discovered underground water sources that had remained hidden for generations. Her seemingly silly fish watching had led to finding new wells that would help the kingdom survive the drought. Princess Amara's moon wisdom revealed its true power. Through her understanding of lunar cycles and their effect on tides, she predicted exactly when and where the rains would return. She knew which nights the moon's position would bring moisture-laden winds from the distant oceans. Her knowledge helped the kingdom prepare and preserve water resources until the rains returned. The three foreign kings who had proposed marriage arrived during this crisis to witness the princess's abilities firsthand. King Jabari of the Golden Lions watched in amazement as Princess Zora accurately predicted weather patterns. King Kwame of the Emerald Coast observed Princess Nia's remarkable understanding of nature's hidden signals. King Ose of the Mountain Realm stood impressed by Princess Amara's profound knowledge of celestial patterns. What these kings found wasn't the foolishness they'd heard about in stories, but rather a deeper wisdom that came from truly observing and connecting with the natural world. Each princess had developed a unique form of knowledge that proved more valuable than traditional learning. Their supposed silly behaviors had actually been intense study of the world around them. The drought eventually broke, exactly as the princesses had predicted. Their combined wisdom had helped the kingdom not just survive, but thrive during a time when other lands struggled. The people began to understand that true wisdom doesn't always look like wisdom at first glance. Sometimes, what appears foolish to others might be exactly the wisdom needed. The story of these three princesses changed how their kingdom viewed wisdom forever. What started as tales of foolishness became legends of unique understanding. Each princess went on to create her own special legacy, using her gifts to benefit not just their kingdom, but lands far beyond. Princess Zora established the kingdom's first weather school, teaching others to read the clouds as she did. Her methods, once mocked, became essential knowledge for farmers across many lands. Students traveled from distant kingdoms to learn her cloud reading techniques. She married King Jabari, combining her weather wisdom with his kingdom's military strength, creating an empire that never failed to prepare for natural disasters. Princess Nia turned her love for talking to fish into a system of understanding water patterns and sea life. She created maps of underground water sources and fish migration routes that helped prevent famines throughout the region. After marrying King Kwame, she established trading routes based on her knowledge of water patterns, making their combined kingdom the most prosperous along the coast. Princess Amara's moon wisdom developed into a complete system of navigation and farming almanacs. Her understanding of lunar cycles revolutionized how people planted crops and planned journeys. When she married King Ose, their mountain kingdom became famous for its accurate predictions of seasons and celebrations timed perfectly with natural cycles. King Amara watched proudly as his daughters transformed from the three foolish princesses into three of the wisest rulers the continent had ever known. Their unique approaches to wisdom brought peace and prosperity to their lands. The old prophecy had been fulfilled, but not in the way anyone expected. True wisdom had come disguised as foolishness. People began telling new stories about the princesses. Parents taught their children that wisdom comes in many forms, and what seems foolish today might save the kingdom tomorrow. The royal library filled with scrolls recording their unusual methods, preserving their knowledge for future generations. Years later, when visitors asked about the legendary three foolish princesses, they heard a very different tale. They learned about three young women who dared to see the world differently, who turned mockery into admiration, and who proved that true wisdom often hides in unexpected places. The tale of the three foolish princesses teaches us that wisdom wears many faces. Sometimes, the most valuable knowledge comes from those who dare to be different, who follow their hearts even when others laugh. Their story reminds us that what seems foolish today might be the wisdom we need tomorrow.